As always, I'm so surprised at all the applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Mark, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you now.
Okay, let's bring you on. What a weekend it has been. There you go. Right. Now, lots to talk about.
Indeed.
Okay. Interesting.
Where do we start?
Interesting things. Before we get on to Bob Vylan, who is now the villain. Okay.
Well, he named himself that. He's got what he wished for, hasn't he?
Okay. One of the former guests on our show got into some bother. Okay. And it was reported not only in the local press, but on the BBC that Reform councillor charged after Pride event arrest. Okay. And it's Amanda Clare. Now, I'm a bit surprised, at all of this. But I'm not. I mean, she probably went there as a counsellor, to the Pride event because she's concerned about certain things and certain rules being followed. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. She's been highlighting serious safeguarding issues with Pride events in Cheshire for about 3 years now, surrounding children. The council weren't keen on implementing any measures, but Mandy stuck with it, and eventually they were forced to implement safeguarding measures at Winsford Pride. So Mandy and some colleagues went there to monitor the situation to ensure these measures were in place, and if not, then she was making sure that they were enforced.
Okay, so I want to just say something now, okay? The Cheshire Police have said that there should be no reporting, commentary, or sharing of information online which could prejudice ongoing proceedings. So, all we're doing is we're actually stating, okay, that she's been arrested, okay? But I see, and I've seen it, that there is still a lot of online commentary.
Correct, John.
From other councillors.
Yeah, well, we're going to enable her to have a fair trial, so we're not going to say too much.
No.
We're not going to speculate. We'll play the game. We'll let this so-called justice take its course.
Okay.
But what you just said, what I want to know is why can certain people openly discuss?
Well, they are. They are saying things. Yeah, the
apparently
incident.
Of whatever's happened. They can talk about who was attacked, how they were attacked.
Correct.
When that information should not be discussed. For all we know, some of these videos and pictures circulating on social media may not even be of the actual incident in question because there's no evidence. We don't know yet. We're meant to be waiting for the legal course of proceedings. So
that's right.
Is it what happened to innocent until proven guilty's lefties? Is there certain people who can just do what they want now? Is there
exactly
and not abide by the laws?
Well, that's exactly the way that it seems. So, what I'm surprised at is that I thought there was some onus on the authorities to monitor who is actually still stating things on social media about the arrest. And so what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. So I think that Cheshire Police should actually be checking on the other people on social media, like on Facebook. I mean, it was so easy for me to find stuff. So
you give them too much credit. They'll be selectively choosing who they monitor. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. Well, this is just, let me just give you a quick pick. What was on social media about the Pride event, and children attended this, did they not?
They did. Just before you do, I've spoken to Mandy. She's well. She's got a sore and swollen thumb and a bump on her head after getting hit with a massive dildo.
Oh, what you mean? One of these?
It was. Okay, it was a joke. Well, about the bump anyway. Yeah, one of those.
This is, I mean, how is this like sort of, a consumable for children? I can't work this out, but
Well, work this out. This is how bad the world's going now. We're trying to talk about serious issues and tackle them. Yet now we're resorted to kink and fetish and dildo filth, aren't we? Again.
Yeah.
Due to these deranged lefties. Brilliant. Thanks.
Well, that's it. Well,
weirdos.
Okay. And just another quickie. I mean, there was a guy. This is another strange one in Cheshire. And I've got an update on this. Now, this is a guy.
Well, just before you do, I just want to note that I think Not sure what Reform's position on this has been. There's silence.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm telling you now, they better back her on this, because Farage said back when Mandy joined Reform, he said Mandy Clare is an ex-Labour councillor who led a campaign against transgender ideology, eroding women's rights, and she joins us on Cheshire West and Chester Council. She is very welcome. Now, remember as well, Reform, she's innocent until proven guilty.
Correct.
If you don't back her on this one, you're missing a massive open goal, I think.
Yep.
Because in future, then, how is anyone meant to, ensure these safeguarding measures are in place at these events?
Yep, I would agree with you there. I would agree. Anyway.
Big moment for
Big moment. Right, let's move on. Here's another inconsistency that's been going on. There was a man arrested in Ellesmere Port Town Centre for feeding birds. Here's what happened here.
Absolutely shameful. All he's been doing is feeding the birds. There's his bird seed on the floor.
I feed birds.
That's my religion.
How many policemen are there for that one guy? I mean, he sounds like he has some issues. Okay, there's no doubt about it. But he was arrested. Yeah. He was arrested by Cheshire Police. And guess who it was that actually asked the police to intervene?
Go on, surprise me.
Cheshire West.
Council.
It was them that actually intervened to bring in the police. Okay. And he was a little bit, he would be understandably upset because apparently he's been doing it for quite a while. Okay. And nobody's actually passed any comment before. Now, okay, is there an encouragement of vermin?
This is the thing, is there more to this? Has he been doing this? And as you say, it's been attracting vermin. He's been asked to stop and he hasn't. Yeah,
it could be that.
Or is he just feeding a few birds in the town centre who come and have a nibble and fly away? I know there was one in Sunderland, the bird man, and he apparently had a trail of rats and birds following him around everywhere. He used to feed them like 70 loaves of bread a day. I can see why that might cause a problem to some of the businesses around where he's doing it. But, I mean, if I can see some proof of that from this, then...
Well, if they can
maybe
show
they've got
the
a
proof,
point, but...
If they can show the proof, there's vermin. But, I mean, when I'm listening to this, when I watched the video, I thought, there's a man, he's got some issues, but he doesn't appear, and from all the comments of people that have seen him out there, he doesn't appear to be, I don't know, in any way harmful to anybody or to the public. He was just, that's his own feed. I mean, you can see the bag in the middle there.
Is there really a need for the sirens and the amount of police? I'm just guessing, John, that there's so many of them, they've sorted the backlog of the indecent child images cases that they had a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just guessing. Maybe they've sorted that out then.
And here's another
it seems
one
they've got
for
more
you.
important things to do here, doesn't it? You know.
Well, 5 of them were turned up. They put them in a van. There was 5 of them. Okay.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's a threat because one of them's just stood there with his hands in his pocket. So
yeah. Well, here's the update. They took him, and later on he calmed down, and then they de-arrested him.
You de-arrested him. So basically, he's done nothing wrong then.
Correct.
Okay, so he might have a case against them then, mightn't he?
He might, but I just thought it was a little bit, over the top to have 5 police officers for that one guy.
Well, he said it's his religion. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but I think feeding the birds is probably more realistic than religion. So, I mean, is that a legitimate claim?
I don't know.
Does it need to be a registered religion? Did they let him off? Because
but he might have just been saying to it. I mean, he could be saying, that's my religion. I feed the birds. I mean, it might not be in a religious context, like he prays to the birds and all the rest of that stuff. It might not be that way.
He's not doing jihad, is he? Or
no,
I don't know.
He's feeding the birds,
doing what them gangs have been doing. Is he? He's just
compare it to these guys. Everybody remember these?
No, totally forgotten who are they? Remind us, because they've disappeared. Is it those ones from Keir Starmer's firebomb thing? Because they've disappeared. Oh, no, it's not them, is it?
No, not at all. These are the two individuals.
I know, I'm only joking.
All right, okay. Well, I
don't really feel like joking today, to be honest. But
at the airport, Manchester Airport, and they got involved in a fracas with the police there. And
I mean, do we have to keep saying allegedly for that one as well? So it's on camera.
I've no idea.
Where does this end? What can we say? What can't we say? In fact, it's the same with this case, wasn't it? As the one we've just discussed.
Yep.
It's all good and well putting something out saying that may jeopardise a case. Well, can you give us some guidance on that? Can you tell us what people can and can't say?
Oh, yeah.
Not just these vague guidelines and hope everyone just shuts the hell up.
Oh, I totally agree. Okay. And well, I don't think, because they want to pick and choose who they actually decide is interfering with proceedings and what have you. Because that's the way they like to play it. And then you have to fight it out afterwards. Okay.
Oh, you do. Well, it depends who you are, doesn't it? Because if you're one of the the mainstream dinosaur dying media, you'll just get a slap on the wrist and a fine. But I don't know. Say you're Tommy Robinson, get in solitary.
Yep.
Get punished.
Yep.
Just saying.
End of story. End of story.
Field were they in court today? Were they?
Yeah. So and it kind of, with all these different things going on, and we're going to go on to Bob Vylan now, right? Or Vylan, sorry. Okay.
Just call him whatever you want. He's an absolute scumbag.
Oh yeah, without a shadow. Well, I think a lot of people think these two are scumbags as well. But let's move on. Okay, here's the BBC statement. Read Bob Vylan. Now everybody should know what actually happened. I mean, he was.
No, you're not going to play it, are you?
I'm not going to play it. No, I'm not going to give the guy.
Put my fist through the screens on. To be honest,
I'm
it's
not
worse than your chicken banana thing.
Hey, don't say that, or I'll put it on. I will.
Mate, I'd rather you played.
Don't say that.
I'd rather you played that.
Okay. No, but here's what the BBC had to say about it. Now, the guy was saying some pretty bad things, and here's what the BBC said about it. Here we go.
It says millions of people tuned in to enjoy Glastonbury this weekend across the BBC's output. But one performance within our live streams included comments that were deeply offensive. The BBC respects freedom of expression, but stands firmly against incitement to violence. The anti-Semitic sentiments expressed by Bob Vylan were utterly unacceptable and have no place on our airwaves. We welcome Glastonbury's condemnation of the performance. The team were dealing with a live situation, but with hindsight, we should have pulled the stream during the performance.
Now, you and I both know that the BBC, okay, even if it's live, they can intercept it.
Of course they can.
They can pull it straight away. So within hindsight, okay. No, what it is the lefty lovies down there decided to let it go because they thought it was cool. Okay, they thought it was cool. But here you go.
We regret that this did not happen.
Yep.
Well, our correspondent Ashna Horinag is following the story for us. Ashna, the BBC's wording, they've expressed regret. Does this fall short of an apology?
Well, I think many people will be analysing those words.
Yes, it does, because they didn't apologise. There was no apology in that statement. None whatsoever. So how the hell can anybody analyse that and not get there was no apology?
We're not sorry.
I mean, it's been condemned. It's been condemned by so many different people. And now, and we reported it first on Twitter, X, okay, by saying this guy's, having his shot at 15 minutes of fame, and we think he's
blown that, hasn't he?
He's blown it, okay. And the first thing that happened and they want to say that it was the Jewish lobby. No, everybody turned around and said that's unacceptable, okay.
Well, different people were a bit pissed off with different things he'd said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that bothered about what he said about the IDF, considering they are like bombing the crap out of everyone. So I don't think they'll be alarmed and distressed and upset.
No, they won't.
But my point is, if we need some consistency. So if you're going to say you can't incite violence, then no one can.
Yep.
So if someone on Twitter says, do it for all I care, if that's inciting when she wasn't actually telling them to go and do it.
Well, the other thing...
He's saying kill the IDF. Is he inciting people to kill them? Because it sounded like it. But if they're an army, then I'm sure they're not going to be too alarmed.
I know.
But it was the bit, obviously, the river to the sea bit. We know what that means. That means exterminate all the Jews. And then the bit about your country, you're not having it back.
Yeah, STFU.
It's not offended. I don't get offended. There's no such thing in my world.
But all those people,
me off, like.
all those people in the crowd were chanting as well. And what are the chances that there are some liberal lovies there? So if this guy's going to get hammered, I see your point. everybody that was chanting it in the crowd, they should actually go get them looked at as well.
You see, it's the madness of crowds, isn't it? Everyone's had a drink, they're probably all high, and then someone shouts something, and they just all join in, don't they?
I know.
We've all probably sung something and joined in, and something in our life where we thought,
well, we haven't sung anything like that. Have you sung anything like that?
I wouldn't sing anything like that.
There you go. All right. Most sane people wouldn't. So the guy's been canned. His record company, his management. I mean, it was the first thing I said was, 15 minutes of fame. And then somebody made a comment, to the comment that we made on X. And they said, oh, yeah, I'm sure he's crying all the way. Well, yeah, he will be crying because the talent agency and management are all, they're not Jewish owned, they're Jewish led. And when they found out, they dumped him. UTA it was. Over in California. They dumped the guy. And then the next minute, his record company just went, boom, cut all ties with him. That's it.
I think you'll have to rename him Bob Stupid, because that's one of the most honest. I mean, hang on, apart from all what he said, his music's absolute garbage, mate, isn't it?
I don't like it.
F you, you're not having your country back, F you. It was like he'd listened to Rage Against the Machine half an hour before he went on and just changed all the words. So rather than Rage Against the Machine, I call him Repeat the Cultist Narrative or something like that.
I know. I just couldn't get over it. And I'm listening. So it's been cut out there. And the biggie is that Marco Rubio took a look at it, and he's announced that they're not getting visas to go into America and do a 20-date tour. So that's it.
Good. What about that kneecap as well? I mean, this is a funny one again. Is this two-tier again, or are we now allowed to call for the death of MPs and riots?
This is what I couldn't
I'm
get
asking.
over.
I'm not calling for them in case dumb lefties try and twist me words. I'm just asking: is we allowed now, or is it again certain people can do it? Because apparently they're not in trouble for calling to kill your MP.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Even in Somerset police are actually opening up an investigation. They are opening it up, and they're doing one into Vylan as well.
Well, I'm on about for the first one, the one gone already, kneecap the last time, where they said kill your MP. They're not doing anything. The police aren't doing anything about that.
Oh, they're not doing anything over that. Well, there's another. Well,
but the inciting a riot.
I saw.
Okay, well, maybe they will, but
I saw something before we came on tonight that said that Avon and Somerset police were reopening or doing something, investigating kneecap as well. I mean, they're definitely investigating Vylan.
Yeah, because this time round they called for a riot. They said on the 20th of August. I think that's when one of them's up for some charges with the flags. Or I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one. I'm meant to be the stats man, but I guess something's wrong. No, I think because he said we're 20th of August, Westminster, we're going for a riot.
Right?
Can you imagine? Let's say for a minute, Tommy Robinson goes on a stage in front of all these people in London, and he says, in August, we're coming back for a riot.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen, John?
Oh,
I think his doors would be smashed in within about 10 minutes.
He'd be in prison straight away.
His bail conditions, he'd probably be back on solitary in Belmarsh on his own.
Well, here's what the Glastonbury organisers said.
Fine.
Here's their statement. And I'll read it there in case anybody can't get their eyes down.
No one can see that, mate.
A Glastonbury Festival was created in 1970 as a place for people to come together and rejoice in music, the arts, and the best of human endeavour. As a festival, we stand against all forms of war and terrorism. We will always believe in and actively campaign for hope, unity, peace, and love.
Riots.
Sounds good so far.
Did he not put riots in there? I can't read in my glasses. Did he not say peace, love, and riots? No,
it said peace and love. With almost 4,000 performances at Glastonbury 2025, there will inevitably be artists and speakers appearing on our stages whose views we do not share. And
genocide of the Jews.
And a performer's presence here should never be seen as a tacit endorsement of their opinions and beliefs. So nothing on me, Gov. Nothing on me.
Right. Well, I don't believe them, John.
I know.
Is it still going?
Yeah. However, we are appalled by the statements made from the West Holt's stage by Bob Vylan yesterday. Their chants very much crossed a line, and we are urgently reminding everyone involved in the production of the festival that there is no place at Glastonbury for anti-Semitism, hate speech, or incitement to violence.
Apart from the West Holt stage.
Yeah, apart from that. Okay. So, yeah. And the other question...
Hang on a minute. Did they mention kneecap in there? No.
No, nothing about kneecap.
No, so they do. So they do endorse...
there you go.
Inclusivity and riots.
Spot on. You got that. You got that. Now, what I want to know is, I want to know, because normally they hand out freebies to the politicians. I want to know how many Labour politicians and their staff were attending Glastonbury on freebie tickets as well, okay? And whether any of them were in the crowd that were chanting. I'd love to know that. I'd love to hear from any of those people.
I'd love to know if next year, will they be handing out pages? I don't know, just a thought. Joke, everyone. Joke. I'm on the West Holt stage, so it's fine.
No, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, Gav. I didn't mean it. All right, well, so you know that literally, it's bad. And they know. When they come out with like something like that so fast...
They're not arse, John. They knew exactly what these acts have done in the past, and they had them
so
back
did
again.
the BBC. The BBC knew what kneecap were all about.
I know, but the BBC didn't air kneecap, so instead they thought they'll give this other guy called Bob a go. But honestly, they're fucking clueless, these lot, mate.
Well, do you think
Does anyone still watch the BBC to watch these imbeciles anyway?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, what's happened to Glastonbury? Mate, people look back and look what it used to be like. Look at Queen back in the day, what they used to do there.
Oh,
and even like last year, you had Elton John, but then you get Stormzy in his stab-proof, bulletproof vest. Blah, blah, blah. And then you've got these clowns here. You've got literally want to be mates with terrorists and do the river to the sea. Where are we going here? It's going to hell in a handbasket, aren't we? Scumbags.
Well, that's the music
How much are they
industry.
paying for this? How much are they paying for this crap anyway? How much is Glastonbury?
Everybody thinks it's cool until all of a sudden it's uncool, and then nobody wants to be involved. Nobody. It wasn't me. I wasn't involved. I didn't see it.
If we went to a festival, and I've been to plenty, and then the act starts coming out giving you a political lecture, they'd have got literally booed off the stage within about 5 seconds, and then if they didn't leave, they probably would have got dragged off. The security would have actually dragged them off and gone, well, you're ruining everyone's fun. What are you doing? Shut up. Imagine like Tiesto going, hang on, I'm just going to stop my song and I'm going to talk about Dutch politics.
I mean,
shut up, lad, and play the music, will you?
Where are the artists like Elton John? I mean, okay, Rod Stewart was on there, okay? And
but he got slick, didn't he?
Yeah, because he had all those women on stage.
No, was it him who said something about Farage in the past?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he said he was support. He said,
like,
we should give Farage a chance. Just shut up. Don't give your views on anything. Just play the music. That's it. And let's hear something good. What's coming out?
As soon they should have a rule. As soon as someone opens the mouth right down a microphone, but don't sing boo boo, hit straight away. Because for a fact, don't you? As soon as they start talking, like Kanye West used to, they're about to give you a lecture. Yeah. And do you know whether I support the lecture or I don't? I probably don't want to hear it when I'm.
No, you're quite right.
Even when you're going to a festival, even if you bang into politics.
Yeah.
Like if someone said, "Oh, Jeremy Corbyn's going to be there," I'd be like, "Well, I'm not going then because I want to get away from that. I do this all week."
Well, that's what you do.
That muppet
you go into
crap about flipping jihadis.
If you go into a Dua Lipa concert, you're going to watch Dua Lipa. If you go into a Taylor Swift concert, you're going to watch Taylor Swift. Okay. If you're going to Glastonbury, you want to get a political lecture. I mean, they had Corbyn there as well.
When you go to the footy and you want to watch people taking the knee and you want rainbow armbands, don't you? Oh no, sorry, you don't. Do you just want to watch them kicking that bag of air around the pitch, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
That's what it's all supposed to be. Well, anyway, all right. So I think we've exhausted that. Let's have another.
Bob's the villain. Boo.
Bob the villain.
You're not going to have your country back. That sounds like a challenge, though, doesn't it, John?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? I'd say meet me on a field, but I can't inside.
I shouldn't say it.
Unless I'm on West Holt stage.
That song absolutely drives me nuts. I knew the guy that brought Bob the Builder and the song into existence in this country, and I just
better than that.
everybody
listen to that.
You know, at a royalty conference, everybody wanted to take the guy into the toilet and dunk his head down there, you know, because it was just everybody was singing it and they were just going, oh, no. It's a bit like that, you know, like sort of, you know.
There was one point there where I thought our new mate, Bob the Villain, did a Hitler salute. Am I going to get in trouble if I do it? He had his microphone like this and his finger went there as I'm not on camera, am I? And my other hand went up his other hand went up in the air. Now, was he doing a little sneaky one quickly? Because I've rewound it and it was quick. Or was he just putting his arm up in the air and his finger happened to go there when he held his microphone? Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I want. I want this.
Chicken banana.
Oh, you got me there. You proper got me, but I was not ready for that. I'll let you off with that one because you didn't play that absolute Muppets garbage music.
We need that. We need more of that at Glastonbury. Right?
Oh, don't remix Bob with the banana because, oh my God, if someone does that out.
Let's move on. Right? Trump had a massive win last week. Okay, it was on the Friday.
You said Trump had a massive. I thought, where are we going with this?
He had a massive win in the Supreme Court. Check this out.
God, you said win.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for fighting for all Americans. Americans are finally getting what they voted for. No longer will we have rogue judges.
Don't.
Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
Striking down President Trump's policies across the entire nation. No longer. Today, in the 6-3 opinion, Justice Barrett correctly holds that the district court lacks authority to enter nationwide or universal injunctions. These lawless injunctions gave relief to everyone in the world instead of the parties before the court. As the Supreme Court held today, they turned district courts into the imperial judiciary.
Okay, so what was happening was this so that everybody understands. Trump was being held up with his executive orders. And the executive order is an order from the commander-in-chief, right, of the armed forces and all the rest of that stuff. And it was people like Gavin Newsom in California who were saying, you know, I'm going to take you to court. And he used a federal judge to hold up a national policy that the president of the United States had said, that's the way it's going to be. Now, some people think Gavin Newsom is a hero. He's not. If you go to California, that place is a barn pot. I mean, it really is, you know, full of idiots in charge. And nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. They let millions across the border there, and fentanyl was coming in like nobody's business, killing people. I'll let her finish. Here we go.
Active liberal judges have used these injunctions to block virtually all of President Trump's policies. To put this in perspective, there are 94 federal judicial districts. 5 of those districts throughout this country held 35 of the nationwide injunctions. Think about that, 94 districts. And 35 out of the 40 opinions with nationwide injunctions came from 5 liberal districts in this country.
Liberal, she means Democrats. Democrat run.
Yeah, a bit like our Matrix chambers.
Yes. Okay.
A bit like that, yeah.
And they were holding them up. Okay. And he just went, well, I've had enough of that. Okay. Because he was sending in, you know, the National Army to go sort out problems. And that's what he was doing.
No longer. No longer. These injunctions have blocked our policies from tariffs to military readiness to immigration to foreign affairs, fraud, abuse, and many other issues. The judges have tried to seize the executive branch's power, and they cannot do that. No.
That's it. So it's finished now. So they can try. There's a few other little tricks that they can try, but they'll be a little bit nervous about doing it because they'll be wondering now what executive orders are going to be coming out of the White House, which might affect them directly. Now, the only way that I can liken it is there's a Reform Council who told the CEO of that council to take down the pride flag. Okay? And they've refused to take it down. So now she's going to feel the brunt in the same way of, you know, if a duly voted in council says that's the way that they want it, that's the way it's going to be. The chief executive doesn't get to decide. She's unelected. That's it. End of story.
Here's half the problem, isn't it? You see again, unelected people, quangos, all this stuff. Maybe we need to do away with the CEO then.
Yeah, absolutely. She's
then
on
the council leader.
This one's
maybe
on
the council leader
grand.
takes more
go
responsibility. Sorry, maybe the council leader takes up some of them responsibilities, and then some other stuff gets passed down, and we do away with these extra layers of morons.
It gets on my nerves. So this is the thing, and there's a lot of stuff which is now changing. Tomorrow we're going to find out what goes on with the welfare bill. Okay, see how that comes out so that we can analyze it and then come back and have a chat about that. An update on a few other things. So I think we'll leave it there, Mark. Okay.
Do you not want to mention Wes Streeting quickly, or are we going to? No. I'm only saying that because actually, for once, I actually agree with. Because it's the only one thing that these Muppets have done in the whole year they've been there that I actually agree with.
What?
Getting rid of some bloody quangos.
Oh yeah, the bonfire of the quangos, right? But
so he's looking to do more than the Conservative did in 14 years. Then,
I knew that you were going to get me involved.
Tony Blair shit.
I knew you were going to get me involved in that. Quickly. I knew you were going to do that, right? So yes, they're going to get rid of some of these quangos, okay? And we can go on, right? There is, a hotel in a particular part of the country that somebody found an NHS letter, and it was saying to this migrant, you can have this,
one of us
and all the words were free. Okay.
Did it say Palestine?
No.
Good. It's going to be difficult now anyway, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go on to we're gonna do a piece on Palestine, to actually let people know exactly what the people around in those areas like Jordan, Egypt, and the other areas, what they think of Palestine. And everybody wonders that all these idiots in this country, are sitting there flying the Palestine flag. Ask themselves a question, and we're going to talk on this, have a big conversation.
Where'd you get your flag from?
Yeah, well, yeah, who's paying for it?
Be like us borrowing the Welsh flag and just take the dragon off. Okay, there's the English flag. Muppets. I tell you what, we can finish then. Maybe we can come back tomorrow and discuss.
Well,
Wes Streeting, who seems to be the only one with any brains in that Muppet outfit. To be honest, let's hope when they knife Starmer in the back, they don't have him take charge.
But I didn't like the comment that he made on Laura Koonsberg on Sunday when he turned around and he said, yes, the IDF had made a complaint to the government about what Vylan had said.
And there's me going, they're not going to be offended. They are offended. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then
is that their God? Is it? No,
he turned round on the program and he said, yeah, but I think the IDF should get their house in order as well. I mean, who the hell is he?
Oh yeah, but that's risky, isn't it?
Oh,
what they've been doing at the minute. I'll just get your mouth shut, Wes.
Yeah. Talk about
don't answer your pager, mate, whatever you do.
Talk about undermining the authority of the Prime Minister. I mean, who the hell is he? Okay? No.
Get your house in order. They've literally been battling for like years here. And like, what they're going to go, oh, hang on, stop. Wes Streeting said, who? Wes Streeting. Who? Wes Streeting said, who? Yeah, exactly. Carry on.
I knew if they didn't listen to Trump, stop it.
If they didn't listen to Trump, they're not listening to that little Muppet.
I'm going to do what it did to Steve. I'm going to mute you. Right, we're going. That's it. We're going. But we're leaving on a high, okay? Because this is the kind of stuff that they should be playing at Glastonbury.
Well, this is probably going to get us banned, but go on.
How can it?
I'm only joking.
We'll get a tour of America if we go on as a cover band doing this. I'm telling you. Here you go. Right, and we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Have a good night.
This isn't our remix, just in case anyone thinks it was. I'd love it to be, but it wasn't.
Here it goes.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
You understand that? Hey, it's better than that Bob Vylan song, isn't it?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the
He's on the West Hall stage.
You understand that?
Oh, you've got disco lights.
Violated it too.
Oh, that wasn't fair. I wanted this one.
Yeah.
Oh, where's mine?
You know, when they say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them.
You should have asked Wedge Streeton to have a word, mate.
You know
He'd have fixed it.
We basically have two countries